Let's try drawing a parallel between Zen Buddhism and self-actualization. Hello friends. As you see, once again I'm reporting from a different setting, a different location. This time at an airport. Let's say undisclosed airport and the destination unknown. Let's keep it at that for now because it's not important. We are talking about Zen Buddhism. Right now I'm reading on Kindle, unfortunately. Not always so. The practicing the true spirit of Zen Buddhism by I'm not going to pronounce it, Suzuki Roshi, Zen practitioner, not practitioner, Zen teacher, Zen master, one of the most influential ones. I will link the book and give a full name because I'm not sure that I'm able to pronounce fully the proper name. Maybe you will see it here. Okay, besides I think sharing an interesting lesson or insight about Zen Buddhism and its connection with self-actualization, also maybe it will give you an insight into how I read, and not just how I read, how it's possible to read. So this particular situation, I just stopped reading as soon as I made this connection in my head, stopped reading and started writing about it, and now right away turned on the camera to talk with you about it, to share. But there are other books that I would read where I wouldn't allow myself to put the book down as easily as this, because this is a book that is more free flowing. But if I'm reading something, let's say for example one book that is sort of challenging and dry, and I wouldn't be able to allow myself to do this, is Bernard Reginster, I'm not sure what's the right pronunciation once again of his last name. Sorry that I'm so bad with names. His book titled Overcoming Nihilism, where he analyzes basically Nietzsche's whole work, and it's more a rigid book in its structure, and I wouldn't be able, as soon as I make some connection, to just quit reading the book and start writing, because it would take a lot of energy to once again get back into full focus while reading it. So it's not as easy as this one. This one is pretty easy to just stop, continue reading, stop, continue reading, while some books that are more dry and more rigid in their structure, I would advise stick to it, mark down, highlight, and make a short note where you made a connection, but don't stop reading, because maybe what you will get out of stopping the reading session and making a longer note, the value that you will get out of it, I'm not sure if it will be worth it, considering how much effort it's going to take to get back into the book. So, okay, short rant about reading and how to read. Maybe now it will make more sense when I share this specific part. When talking about being fully yourself, expressing yourself fully, Master Roshi says that perhaps we could see this fullness, being fully yourself, perhaps we could see this fullness as another form of disappearing. So perhaps we could see this fullness, being fully yourself, as another form of disappearing. Initially it makes no sense, right, if you have no context. But here is what instantly started, the idea that started developing in my mind. Fullness, disappearing. What Abraham Maslow calls full humanness. It's not a binary thing, it's on or off. It's a range. So full humanness is basically self-actualization. So the closer you are to full humanness, the higher you are on the scale of self-actualization, to put it like that, to simplify it a little bit. So full humanness is where you lose your ego, you lose your sense of self-importance, You lose even self-consciousness. So you're not losing self and you're not losing consciousness, you're losing self-consciousness. So this is full humanism, because when you are yourself at your full capacity, then you stop thinking about yourself, then you stop judging yourself, but also stop putting yourself first. So, and you will see this theme repeat in also other traditions, not just in psychology and in Zen Buddhism. When you are at your best, when you are at your fullest, most traditions represent that they try to paint a picture of when you are fully who you as a human could be and should be, you lose all self-centeredness, selfishness, ego. This is how I understand when he says that we could see this fullness as another form of disappearing, because that's what happens. Your ego disappears. In Zen Buddhism, they would even say that the self disappears. But I personally prefer how Maslow puts it, that it's not the self that disappears. And also the author of Law, Csikszentmihalyi, also says it's not the self that disappears, it's the self-consciousness. It's that what's preventing a lot of joy in our life, a lot of relaxation, a lot of flow, a lot of presence, being in the present moment. What prevents is this self-consciousness, this small self. It seems great, but it's actually small because it's the most pathetic part of ourselves. This is how I understand that fullness is just another form of disappearing. So I think it's really interesting. I would like you to think about it a little bit, and also think about this different styles of reading. That some books you can stop and really start developing this idea, this connection, start expanding on it. While you can give me an example, what is a book that you think is not worth stopping because it's going to take too much energy and focus to get back into it? For me, it's Bernard Register, Overcoming Nihilism. What's another that comes to mind? Kierkegaard. Many times I've made a mistake because one line really hits me and I stop reading to start writing. And yes, I do develop some ideas and write something that I find interesting later, but Kierkegaard is not easy to read, so I'm not sure if it's worth it to stop at every line that I can relate to, stop and make a longer note, because I tend to make long notes. I'm not sure if it's worth it. So just wanted to share that. And maybe to re-emphasize once again, fullness. When you are at your fullest, when you are at your full humanness, you are one with the source. You are one with the Christians and other monotheistic religions would call God. You are one with one. You are one with all. You are one with everything. Depending on how different traditions, religions, philosophies call that something, universe, whatever, because when you are at your full humanness, you are one with that greater source, and so you also lose that sense of self-importance. I will give an example. If I'm at my full humanness, there is no more David that is judging himself on how he looks on video. That if I was at my full humanness right now, I wouldn't think about how I'm looking rough because I've been on my feet for the last almost 48 hours. So how I look rough and look messy and ugly in this video. If I was at my full humanness, there would be no place for that kind of thinking. Also, if I was at my full humanness, there would be no sense of impatience while waiting in line, no sense of frustration because multiple people people shoved me while walking past me in in a hurry. So I'm not saying that now there is frustration, impatience, just sharing an example. But there is this thinking of how rough I look on this video. That's a concrete example. Impatience and frustration is more of a just using my creativity to give you something to think about. Actually, it's pretty chill here. So no frustration. Think about full humanness. What would disappear? What would disappear? And these were like really basic examples, something on a daily level. But think about something more heavy, something more that has a greater impact on your life long term. What are those things that disappear because your essence does not disappear? We are not talking about that kind of disappearing with your fullness, because when you are fully yourself, when you're fully human, when you are all that you could be, what disappears is all those parts of yourself that are preventing you to feel genuine connection with life, to feel genuine connection with something greater than yourself. When you're at your full humanness, you are connected with everything. You are connected with one, whatever that greater one is, and you are connected with everything. And this is why it is disappearing. When I'm at my full humanness, David, that has, I don't know, 130 something thousand followers on Instagram, he also disappears. Because how could I even think about that number? It's ridiculous. When I'm at my full humanness, that doesn't exist. When I'm at my full humanness, I'm same like every single one of those people. There is no number that can be put next to my name and give value to myself. And that's something that I can say that I strive towards every single day, to adopt that attitude. That's something that I will leave you to think about. Full humanness. Interesting. I love the idea, so I want to share with you right away. As soon as I read it, I want to share it with you. And I would like to hear how you understand it. Do you have something to add? Do you have something that you would phrase differently? Do you have an idea of what do you see as full humanness? What part of yourself would disappear if you were fully yourself? Let me know. Next time, that is tomorrow, I will be talking with you from a different location, much colder. That's something that I'm not really happy about, but we'll manage it and we'll make the most out of it. Think about full humanness, and talk to you soon. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I know most of you haven't. Like, comment, and think about full humanness. That's it. I'm going soon. Wish me a safe trip. I know that you will. Stay strong. Love life. Never feel sorry for yourself. Strive towards that full humanness, and towards letting go of those small selfish parts of yourself. Let's all try to do that. Talk to you soon.